Hey everyone, Lena here. For those that don't know me, I started to interview women about their unassisted or free birth at home. And today I'm speaking to a woman that lives in the south of Sweden. We actually met, Anna and I, we know each other from Morocco. And she's the first woman, I think, that I'm interviewing, except Therese, that I know from real life. So I'm excited to speak to her today. If you like the interview, if you like the videos I'm making, please give them a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel and share them if you feel they could help to inspire other women or give them the information and confidence to birth their babies freely at home. Please do so. If you are a woman that gave birth on her own terms, free, unassisted at home, and you would like to share your story, you're welcome to send me an email. I'm recording the interviews with the program Zoom, and we set up a date. I'm only looking for women that had planned free birth and that had no backup midwife. That's what I'm focusing on at the moment. And I'm especially curious to hear of women that did their own prenatal care. And I'm too interested in hearing of women that gave birth to their dead babies freely. So any story is welcome, as long as it doesn't include assistance. So we're starting now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, hey Anna.
Hey Lena, hey.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Anna and I'm from Austria. I live in Sweden right now and I have 2 kids. My daughter is 2.5 and my son, he got born 7 weeks ago at home.
Yeah. And how was his pregnancy? How did you feel?
The pregnancy, it was quite heavy in the beginning. I felt very pukey until the 16th week nearly. Mm-hmm. So that was a big challenge with another small child to stay active. And then I was at no midwife until this point. I think I went first time in the 16th week. I went to one of the midwife appointments where they confirm your pregnancy and talk a little bit. And then it got better. Then I had more energy again, and then I enjoyed also most parts of my pregnancy.
What did make you decide to have a free birth?
Many things. Already in my first pregnancy, I read a lot about it and I was interested in it, but we had no home and it was not really the possibility there. And always when I thought about home birth, I actually never saw me with a midwife. I don't know, it didn't appear to me. Mm-hmm. Also maybe because in Austria it's also very expensive and here in Sweden there is just not really midwives who support home births. And so when I got pregnant the second time, I was really sure this baby I gonna get at home because we have a home now. And and many things. I just believe that it's the easiest to birth uninterrupted. And I had a beautiful hospital birth with my first child, but I still felt like I not just want the untraumatic birth, but I want also to experience as much as possible the beautiful things. And this I can do the best when I'm feel very free.
Yeah. So the decision, you had your first baby at the hospital, and then when you got pregnant with your second, you felt like now you live in Sweden, you're having a home, and there is no home birth midwife. So it was clear from the beginning that you were planning for.
It was really clear for me. I never thought anything else actually. For a while we thought that we do it with a doula, Like my boyfriend, he has a friend, we know a woman, she's a doula, and or she's in the Utbildung, also she's in the education for doula right now. She's also a nurse, and she's been at births a few times. And but we never really made we saw her in the 32 weeks or so. Like before, I never made the step to really meet her before or to arrange it. It was more for my mind, I think, a security for a very long time. Every time I had fears coming up, I just thought, yeah, but we will be with somebody else. And but I never saw myself with somebody else. When I thought about my birth, I just saw us. I never saw somebody else. But she's a very nice woman, and we met her then also, but then it didn't work with the time, like she had no time in this period where should be the birth. And then I was very disappointed first because I had to face my fears, but actually it was a big relief also because I always just saw myself. And I think also when I talked with her, and so I think I didn't understood back then what is the point of a doula. Like she asked me, what do you like, or what should I bring, and so, and I was always like, but I have everything what I need. I don't need you to do anything. So it was I was very, not so open for it, I think, because this birth I just wanted to be alone, in fact.
Yeah. And how did your partner feel? Was it easy for him to embrace the idea of a free birth, or how did he feel?
Yeah, it was easy for him. He wanted to do it all, be part of it, and also in the beginning, like we just liked the thought of having a doula, I think, because we had many things to do. Then we didn't need to focus on what do we need to prepare for birth. It was some kind of security thing. But when that fell, we really went into reading a lot together and speaking a lot and focusing a lot of time.
What was important for you to do in order to prepare?
What was important for me was very important to read birth stories of alone births or free births and to look videos. I watched a lot your videos. It made me it was really nice. And to read also these emergency books we read and looked a little bit. Like all the fears what came up, I checked up what is if this happens, okay, one does this. Or, and but mostly it's inspired me just to read different birth stories or see the videos. And talk. I have some friends who gave birth also alone, and that helped me also a lot to speak about it.
In your area in Sweden, I guess most of the women give birth at hospital. Did you feel alone with your decision? Did you share it openly, or was it more something you kept for yourself, and maybe in order to protect yourself a little?
Yeah, I kept a lot for myself also. Like I spoke with the people mostly who had also given birth alone. I spoke openly, or with my very close friends where I knew they have not so much fear for this. But a lot of people, like we said always, we will do it with a doula probably. So I never changed this sentence. Like they never asked also most people, I must say. Like people who are not now so super interested in birth also, they just never asked me again. And then I never said it. But I had a lot of other things to do. I felt like I cannot take a discussion with people who are not supporting me.
Yeah. When you were pregnant, how did you envision your birth, or what was your ideal birth? What were you wishing to do or to have?
I wanted a birth pool, then I had a birth pool also, and I just wanted to be very free. I don't know, there's a lot of this like hypnobirth things out there, and so for this birth, nothing like this came to me. Like I didn't really prepare in any way like that. Because I'm a person, like I can plan the things, but then in the moment they change very much for me. So then I imagined some things, like I imagined that it goes easy and that I will open up, and I tried to imagine a beautiful birth, but I didn't prepare with many techniques or things like this.
Mm. Did you said you had a birth pool. Did you get other things for the birth, or?
Yeah, I got a few like etheric oils, what I had already with Ava's birth, what just reminded me really much on the birth, like jasmine oil I really liked. And but then actually during the birth, after some time, I didn't want to smell anything. And what else did I have? We had a lot of towels also, and a clean scissor because we wanted to cut the cord, and not so many things, but just nice things. Like I took some stones I really like, and I just made it cozy, some candles I prepared before, and yeah, very simple.
Mm. What I remember we spoke, and what was maybe interesting with your pregnancy was that you went quite a lot over your due date.
Yeah, that was very intense for me. Yeah, because that was another challenge. Like first, the challenge was the first decision was to decide I give birth at home, and then I just had many ideas how my daughter, she got born one day before this calculated day. So I never ever imagined that I would reach this day. I thought 2 weeks before I give birth, and so it came very different. And from this day on, like it was every day a roller coaster. Yeah. And I felt okay till the 5th or 6th day or so, but then it started to get really heavy on me. I was also very big, and I was really sure this baby was not now wrongly calculated or anything. I knew when we made the baby, kind of, and I just felt slowly it was not anymore so good, you know what I mean? Like I didn't felt yet poisoned or like really sick, but I felt it is really ready. Like I didn't feel like, oh, this baby needs more time, but I felt like overbaked. Like I was overbaked and the baby was overbaked. So then every day I needed to, go through a process. And then I went to the hospital, also to the midwife again on the 10 days over the calculated, or 11 days over the calculated birth. And there they told me it's usual in Sweden to start the birth like 15 days after the calculated birth. You would break open the whole fruit bubble and then the birth starts. That was very scary, but in a moment it was relieving me because I thought it's better than medicaments. And I thought like if I forever am pregnant, then I cannot anymore. Yeah. And so for this one day, I was like, okay, if it's not there until 15 days after, then I start the birth. And I felt okay for one day. I knew this pregnancy will end. But already the day after, then I also wrote you, and I wrote some other women who gave birth alone. I didn't feel anymore so good with that idea also to start it. I didn't want it to start it.
So what was difficult for you when you went over your due date? Was it like it was physical? You said physically you felt exhausted and you felt like ready or over, but it was probably a lot in your head. And
yeah, it was a lot in my head. What did I feel? Yeah, I just talked with the baby a lot, that I wanted that it comes. But then also I tried to say, okay, I understand you come when you come. And it was also just that I felt like, actually it was not that I felt so unsecure that then the baby would be sick or that something would be bad. I just, for myself, I think I felt overbaked. It was mostly this. But also there was a point when I felt like, I don't know how long I can take this responsibility. Like I knew then, okay, I take it till 15 days over. I take the responsibility to do it alone. And from there on, I have to take it day by day. Like if he wouldn't have come 13 days after, I would have taken it day by day. Like, how do I feel? Can I take the responsibility for me and my baby? And then I would have just acted, I think, in my instinct, like if I can take it or not.
And what did your partner say?
Yeah, first, like when we were at this meeting with this midwife in the hospital, then he felt also, yeah, okay, if it doesn't come until 15 days over, maybe it's good to start the birth. But then the next day I said that I don't want that. And then he was also very supportive in that way. Then he said, yeah, then we see if it's not there, it was a Monday, if it's not there on Monday, the baby, then we just have to see how we feel with this, and then we go day by day.
Yeah. Did you feel seen and supported by the midwife at the hospital? Did you feel she would have respected your choice to wait longer?
I don't know that if she would have respected my choice to wait longer, but I think I was not so open there that I said that I would go over this day. I just said, yeah, okay, then it's like this. But I didn't tell her, yeah, but maybe then I stayed home. Because on this day, it was just a relief to go there and to feel. But actually, I felt she was very nice there when I was there. Like she said me also, I should not be afraid if I have to come in the hospital. That they will not put me on the machines. Because I told her I really don't like this, CTG. What is this called?
CTG, yeah, CTG.
Yeah. But then she was also like, she was not against that we give birth at home. Like she told me a few things, what I could do, or like not what I could do to start the birth, but during birth, what I should remember or so. It was nice exchange. She was very nice. She hugged me then, and I felt nice to go outside my house and have something to do except to wait and to speak with somebody.
So you did tell her that you were planning to have a home birth?
Yeah, we told her this, yeah. And she was very supportive in that way. She was like, don't lay down, stand up, coming. And she was really friendly.
Okay, yeah, beautiful.
I felt like from the midwives here, there was much interest also. Like we had one during the pregnancy. I made one ultra scanning in the 20 weeks, the big one. And otherwise I went to this midwife. And she was very nice. She was interested in birth. And mostly I went there, I wanted to see how the baby lays and stuff like this. Now I know it myself. I don't know if I would go there again if I have another pregnancy. Yeah. Because it was a bit exhausting. It exhausted me a bit. They wanted to check my iron, and I let them check my iron, but more for their sake than for my sake. I feel like I bend it in a bit with their ideas, so they are a bit happy also.
Yeah.
Now afterwards, I think like it's crazy that I did this, like I feel like, why did I go there and check my iron? Because I knew my iron is all the time low. I eat a lot of green things, but I'm low on iron. And I don't take these tablets. I don't feel so good with them. Mm-hmm. So I went, I must say 50% of the time I went to the midwife checkups. It was for her sake and not for mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Though when I was pregnant, I really liked with my second child, I was at the midwife in Sweden only once, but with my first child, I went there regularly. And I really liked the checkups at the midwives in Sweden, because they do, maybe they still do so little, like she was only measuring my belly and feeling the baby. So yeah, but I would not go there again either, no. I think a lot is routine and not necessary for the individual woman to get blood work done, or
yeah, the checking the belly, and so this I really liked also with somebody who she knows also things for sure. I mean, she learned this and she has experience. But the sugar test, I refused them also. I didn't see the necessity.
Yeah.
But the iron, I was not strong enough. There was actually one helper of this midwife, and she was really always onto my iron. But she was so like, when I told her I don't make the sugar test, then she said to me like, but the iron you make, and then I felt really getting small, and okay, you can take the test. Yeah, it doesn't matter so much now, but.
Anna, your daughter, how did you prepare your daughter for birth?
Yeah, we spoke a lot. We spoke about the birth, or that there's a baby inside, and that it comes out. But she's still so small. Like when the baby was born, she was 2 months over 2, 3 months over 2. So I don't know if she understood it completely in that way. But we spoke about it, and I had such a book where we watched sometimes. But it was not a especially good book, I must say. It was not, as the woman gave birth in a hospital. So. And but now she likes to watch this book, and she sees the placenta and the navel string, and she is very interested in these things now.
Okay.
Afterwards. But yeah, but we had a friend in our place. We have a guest wagon outside, so it's also separated from the house. Our house is also very small. That's one part why I didn't feel like having somebody there for birth, because it's very intimate. And yeah, then my daughter was a lot with our friend.
Okay. So your birth space, you prepared it in your home, and did you set up the pool? When did you set it up, the pool?
Just the day it started. Yeah, I had a lot of times, like before my birth started. The birth started actually like way before for me. I had contractions and things like this since like 2 weeks before the actual birth happened. Like around his calculated date. There was moments I was already in the supermarket, and I thought like, we will have no time to set up the pool. It's starting now. It goes so fast. And then the contraction just disappeared again. And this was very regularly. Like I had this like for 2 weeks.
What did it do to you? How did you feel when you thought it was starting and then it stopped?
Yeah, it made me crazy. Like that made me really crazy. Because I was so excited also already. I wanted to give birth, and but it was a lot of training of letting go. And now I can see in the background it helped me a lot with realizing things in my life also. But in the moment it was like, I was waiting, it was starting, and I feel like after 2 hours it was again like nothing happened. And so when the actual birth, when the contraction started, then I took it very easy, because I was not sure, does this now go away again or not?
Yeah. Anna, you said you went to the hospital to talk about breaking the waters at day 15.
They would have broken it on day 15. Yeah.
Which was a Monday, and then you went into labor on Saturday?
Yeah, on Saturday evening. I think I wrote with you. You sent me some broadcast. What is it called?
Podcast. So I sent you some articles about opening of the waters or going over due dates.
I didn't even have time to read or see any of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, then in the middle of the night, it started, my contractions. And then after some time, I felt like, okay, this is now really real. And then we lit the fire, and I woke up my boyfriend to help me a little bit setting up the things. Then he went to bed again, and then I was awake, and I had waves, but they were very far apart for a very long time, like the whole day basically. They were just every 20 minutes. But when one wave came, it was very intense. Like it was very different from what I experienced before with birth. It was a lot of pressure. Like I felt like I wanted that my water bursts. It was very coming down. And then, how was it? Then I had these waves in the morning. Then at midday, I got really headache. And then I felt like, oh, this is now not good. I really cannot concentrate when I have headache. So I went to bed, and shortly I had the fear, if I go now to sleep, then the waves will stop again and I will not give birth. But I felt anyway I need to sleep. So then I slept 2 hours till the afternoon. And then I felt very good. Then I was refreshed and I had no headache anymore. And then it continued though. But every 20 minutes, sometimes every half an hour, one wave. But when it came, I really had to be present.
What did you do when you had a contraction?
I have leaned over something, or I breathed through it. I made a lot of noise. I was really loud. It surprised me. But maybe also because I felt so free. With my hospital birth, I was so quiet in my memory. But now I felt so free that I could just sing and be loud. So I did this, and then I went in the pool already around 2:00 in the afternoon. I went in the pool, and also my daughter, she went a bit like so inside sometimes, and then she went out again in the wagon with my friend. So then she came a little bit in the pool, and then I started. It already got dark because in Sweden, then at this time at 3:00 it's already dark. So then it slowly started to get dark outside, and then it got very intense already. Then I started, but it was still very far apart, but I really needed to breathe through, and I listened to some music for some while, and I had my etheric oils, but after some time, like the more intense it got, I just wanted quietness, and I wanted actually my partner to be quite much around. I thought it will not be like this, because I thought I want to be very in myself, but also it helped me when he sat close to me. It was very nice. So it was actually very nice. My friend was with my daughter. My daughter didn't want it to be so much in the room. We watched movies and they played, and I think she wanted to have a bit distance from it. And then it was very good. So I had with my partner at the time.
Did he need to support you physically? Did he need to?
No, sometimes I wanted to, I think in 1 or 2 contractions I leaned on him, but the other time I just liked somebody in the room. Yeah, it was more that I liked him just knowing in the room. Sometimes he went out because he had to cook for my daughter for a while and was there also. Then I was happy he was back. Just to have somebody around me. And then they come popping up something. Then the contraction got really stronger and stronger, and it's so hard to remember sometimes. It goes easy out of the head.
In this moment, Anna, did you realize that you were actually in labor and that you were going to have a baby? Or
No, I knew it already. It was really, really strong. Like his head, I guess or the water bubble, it was pressing really, really strong down. And I knew I'm gonna have this baby. Yeah. And then, but it took quite a while. It was a very long birth. If I compare it to my first one, it took a long time. And then there came the transition time after some time, of course. And then, but I never had fear. Like I never felt like, oh, it would be more safe in the hospital, or I'm afraid what happens to the baby or to me. I never had fear, but in the transition time, I felt also like, I need a break. Like it's heavy, the pressure is heavy, and I just want a break. And
did you say something? Did you say to your partner, I need a break, or I can't do it anymore?
Yeah, I really said like, oh, I need a break. I would like, but also it is actually beautiful because I knew I'm responsible for myself. So I said, for example, I need a break, but in the next sentence I said, I know I can have no break. I have to do it now. Or I talked actually more with myself than to him. I was saying, I cannot anymore. And then in the next, I know I have to. I can do it. I can do it. Like, I felt like in the hospital in this stage, I gave up. Yeah. In this transition time, I felt like this was the time when I let the people do, or I mean, I still did it, but like I was not anymore present.
Yeah.
I felt like, because then I had to lay down and stuff like this, what you do there. But then at home, I felt like, yeah, I have to do it because it's just me. I mean, in the hospital, it's also just you, but you're not so conscious about it. And then, yeah, when I really I had to gather my strength, and it was also really beautiful. Like then I felt like every time a wave came in the birth pool, I had to sit up, and I had to really prepare for it. Like I felt the wave coming, and before the wave could like peak, I had to sit up and to breathe it through and to be present. I had to be very present. And that was a beautiful experience also. And the birth pool, it was so much security for me.
Mm.
I think maybe it was also very dark in the room I gave birth. I had some candles, but the birth pool, it was like a warmth, or it was very secure. I felt very good. I held it on to it, and it gave me really security. Maybe it's small space and it was warm. Because in this transition time, I tried to walk for a while, or I felt like I need the movement. And so I walked outside into another room, and I felt not good. Like I felt directly I have to puke. I did this 2 times that I went outside of the pool, and I felt like I have to puke and I don't feel good. And then I went inside the pool and this disappeared again. So I stayed there. That was good for me to be there.
When did you make the decision to have a water birth? How come you?
I directly also. I wanted this with my first birth already. And I chose this hospital also as a first of all because it's the closest, but I also called before, do you have possibilities of bathtub and so on? They said, yeah, for sure. But then it was not free in this day.
Yeah.
No, for me, I think, I don't know, it just felt natural for me in water. As to be in the water. And now I think I also understand, for me, I think it has a lot to do with the space. Like a small space. I think in a big room one can feel very loose, and in a birth pool maybe it's not just the water for me, but it's also this like having something around you.
Yeah, I feel the same. When I was in transition, I think one feels very restless. Restless makes you want to move around too much, and then I really appreciated the pool around me because I was just like floating to its sides, but I could not go any further, so I was like hugged by the pool and kept in place, and it felt really
that's beautiful. I think it can give a lot of security.
So this was in the afternoon. It was dark and you were having contractions, and then you got into transition. What
already happened? Then it was already dark. So then it was already late, I guess. Time flies out. He got born at 9:30 in the evening. So then I guess so then it must have taken everything much time, but I didn't experience it like this. Like I didn't have the thought like, oh, this takes now so super long time or so. I actually also wished for a long birth. Like I didn't wish maybe for as long birth back then, but I heard a lot of times, the second birth is so fast, and I knew I had a fast birth with my first child, so I was really prepared that the second birth would be like, I thought super fast, and this I didn't want it because I wanted to experience it. I think for me it could be a bit overwhelming to have it too fast.
Yeah.
And so it was a slow process, but it was good for like it was.
And it felt good for you to have your daughter in the caravan outside with a friend of yours.
Yeah, it felt good. I could not, like, for some time she came in the pool. We could also be a bit with each other, but I felt I needed all my attention and for myself. And it was good like it went, I think. Also, they came inside like when I was in transition, actually. Then I went in the other room, and then she saw me shortly, and no, she wanted to leave again. I don't think that she got really shocked or so, but no, she chose herself like this.
Anna, do you want to tell us about the birth? How was it? Did you feel the urge to push, and how did it happen?
Yeah, then after a while, like in the pool, I felt like that something will explode, and then my fruit bubble also broke. And that was also a big relief of this pressure I had, but it was still pressure afterwards. But for the moment, it was a good relief. And then actually I planned to not push, because I read a lot like babies can just swim out, or like this reflex that you kind of can puke out your baby. And I just wanted to try this, but it was not really possible. I had a really strong urge to push, and if I not pushed with it or was in this, it felt like I cannot do it. It was overrolling me then. So I started to feel then this pushing, and when I went inside it, it felt actually very good and relieving. Like away from this transitioning time into this, it felt like it was good. And in between, then I actually touched myself inside. I just had the feeling I want to feel how far, or I don't know what I wanted to feel. Then I felt something really strange on his head. It was like, I think, some rest of the fruit bubble. But shortly, that felt really strange. I thought, like, is that the neighbors? So, but I never got, like, it was very strange for me. I was really disconnected from my feeling of fear. Like, even I thought like it could be the neighbor string, but I was not like, oh my God, it's maybe this. I was just like, oh, maybe it's this. I don't know. But then it felt also different. And then the baby, then it was this pushing, and then I pushed with it because this felt good. And it took quite a while, I would say. It was many pushes, I think. And, but I felt like the head moving really down, but it was really empowering. That I felt it this time, because there I was really disconnected in my first birth. Like, then I didn't touch myself. This time I had my hand all the time on my vagina. I had to press a little bit against it because it felt like so much pressure comes down. I need to stop it in a way. Like it felt really, and I felt like I'm really part of it. I'm really there. And then it got stronger and stronger, and then I had the feeling I have to stand up out of the water, like I have to step up, and then his head got born, and I touched his head. Then it felt very interesting, but then my boyfriend got afraid in this point. He told me afterwards, like in a moment he didn't tell me that so much, but then the baby was apparently not breathing. I don't know how one can also check this so much, but then my boyfriend told me this also in this moment. He told me like, okay, the baby has to come, it doesn't breathe, and he apparently checked if the neighbor string is around, but I didn't feel any of this. But I didn't have fear in this moment. I just felt like, okay, this baby has to be born anyway. There was also not enough time that I can get afraid, because in a few seconds later the body was born, and then the baby screamed very loud, so my boyfriend was very relieved.
Yeah, it doesn't need to breathe when the head is out. Yeah.
No, I think it was just really tight. Yeah, he was a very big baby, so he was very rest, and I think but this was also, my boyfriend was already a bit afraid on my first birth also in this part, even there was a midwife. I think from the outside it can look very strange, such a baby head squeezed through, and
so you gave birth standing in the pool?
Yeah, I gave birth then standing, and my boyfriend catched the baby from behind. I was like half standing, I was a bit kneeling down.
Okay, so he was born. He wasn't born into the water.
He was not born into the water, no. Yeah. Then my water was a bit dirty already from all the blood or slime. I didn't feel anymore so comfortable in the end. Yeah. Or I don't know if I thought like this. I think in the moment I just did it anyway, how I did it.
Yeah, it sounds really beautiful that you were listening to your body, and I liked when you said that you were pushing when you felt to push. I think it's very important. I think, that's very important. Then when women, trust their bodies and do and follow their bodies and not.
Yeah, I think my body is just like this. This I realized. Like, it's beautiful to hear about people where it's different also, but this I realized really with this birth, even more than with my first birth. Like, my body does it like it does it. Yeah. I can have many ideas, but then in the moment it's different. Yeah, it was very beautiful. Then he was out and he was very, very screaming, and that was a relief though for my boyfriend. Then my daughter, she felt it apparently outside, because they came inside like 2 minutes later. They were standing or like I went out of the pool and went into the bed, and many towels on the floor, and then they were standing in the room, and yeah, I was a little bit overwhelmed by everything after the birth, because he was still very screaming. I had to try to calm him a bit down or concentrate on him, and directly my after waves, they shot in. I had them already very strong with my first birth, and this time it was really strong, so I could not really so concentrate on the whole thing so much. It was, he searched the breast directly and wanted to drink. That was beautiful, but in the same time my whole wave started. I had to concentrate to not lose the baby, because the waves are so strong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, quite strong. I didn't try to eat a piece of my placenta. I heard that can help. I think next time I would try that.
When did you give birth to the placenta?
Yeah, quite soon. Like then we laid there for a while, and he was connected still to me, and my daughter was around, and my friend was there cleaning up and being a bit so in the background and around. And then I felt after some time that I want to cut the navel string. Like we thought before about like making it a bit like maybe 12 hours on the placenta, the string, or look how it comes. But then I had really the feeling that I want to cut the string. I got this really strong, this feeling. And I wanted to cut the string before my placenta was there. I wanted to birth my placenta alone. Like, and we cut the string. We asked him before if it's okay, and it seemed okay. He didn't cry, and it felt good for me. It felt really good for me. And then I went in the shower alone, and then I gave birth to the placenta 10 minutes later, or like 5 minutes later. It was really fast.
Yeah.
And that felt good. Then I showered the placenta, and I looked if all is good. And
nice.
I did. But yeah, I really wanted to not be anymore connected, or because otherwise if I would have given birth with him and the placenta, I would have to bring him, but in that moment I really needed to be alone.
Yeah. How did it feel after the birth? You immediately had your friend and your daughter there. Did it feel too much, or like were they quiet, or was there a lot of noise, or how did it feel to you?
Vila, he still screamed a lot. Like he very long time screamed and noises. So that was, but my daughter, it was good to have them there. My friend was very good to have there, just to the overview, and also look a bit for my daughter that she don't jump on me, or like no, it was good. It was overwhelming, but that was good. Like it was, I think. Yeah, for sure it was overwhelming also, the whole situation. But it was nice. Then my daughter could see everything. Yeah, the blood and how it is also. Yeah, placenta and the navel string and the baby. And I'm really happy she saw all of this also. Like even she didn't saw the active birth, the total. Now she knows that the baby comes out of me, and she talks a lot about it, and that she was inside there before, and that the baby gets food through the navel string, and yeah, it's good. She knows. It's nice.
The after pains you said were quite strong.
Yeah, it was really strong.
What helped you? What did you do?
Actually, on the second day, I got me painkillers.
Yeah, me too.
No, it was so painful. Like I felt like I cannot concentrate on my baby. When it drinks, I have to move, and so this helped me. And just also I had to take them again like waves. I realized, like first when they came, I just took it like as pain, and then it was very painful. But then after some time, I started it. Yeah, when they rise or the wave got higher, I just had to really concentrate, and again, like in the birth, breathe them through, and then it got much better.
Yeah.
And I just used yeah, when I just breathed with them, that was good.
I had the same. When the birth was over, the birth of the baby, I was so surprised that I was still in labor because all the after waves were still keeping me up. I couldn't lie down. Every time I had a contraction, I was up and I was breathing again. So it was very difficult because I was hoping as soon as the baby is out, the birth would be done, but it still continued. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really part of it also.
Yeah. Did you tear or did you lose a lot of blood?
No, I think I teared very little, maybe a millimeter behind or so a bit. But that didn't hurt at all when I peed or afterwards. And no, not so much blood. Also after the birth, there's a lot of blood, but not unregular much. I was also not worried about this with the blood so much because on the first baby I didn't lose so much blood, and
Yeah.
no, that was good.
And did your postpartum, did you do anything, or was there something that you felt you wanted to do now you had already a child? And I don't know, mama of two, it's different than maybe having your first baby. What did you plan your baby moon or?
Yeah, also the next day there was Christmas then. So then we let it Ava the choice if she wants to go to Theo's family, from my boyfriend, the family, and she wanted that. So then they picked her up in the morning, the father. But it was also very nice. Like, I don't know if it's all in all a little bit the mentality in Sweden sometimes, or if it's just different families, but he didn't come and really touch the baby. It was very respectful that when he came and picked Ava up. It felt nice. And yeah, so we had a whole day alone. That was good.
Yeah.
And then she came back the next day. That was also good. And but I didn't lay down as much as I did with Ava. Yeah, I had to really hold myself back. I had also a lot of energy. Like I really felt like I want to do things, but my boyfriend, he stopped me a lot, and I didn't lay down maybe all the time in this time. But therefore, I feel like my baby moon, or this time after, it was very long. Like, yeah, then we stayed actually the whole month at home mostly and took it very, very easy. So that was good.
Anna, how has the birth changed you? Now you have experienced it. Did it change you? What difference did it make in your life?
All in all, it's like I think a process I'm in at the moment, or in my life, is to really do the things I want to do and to stand up for what I believe in and to trust myself. And then the birth came in this time of this process, and it for sure supported me a lot. That I know I can do what I feel is good for me.
Yeah.
And to not bend down to others, to not do things because others have expectations or think that this and this is good for me, but to do what I think is good for me, to not make myself smaller to please people around me.
Yeah, beautiful.
That was really important. And with the birth, that kind of got the symbol also maybe of this process.
Is it the same for your partner? How does he feel now?
I don't know if it was the same for him, this process.
But how did the birth change you maybe as a family? Did you feel different or?
I think every birth makes the family stronger. Like also after my first birth, I felt we were like also in a honeymoon in our relationship again. And this time, of course, again, like this also. And makes just, I don't know if it's for him. I have to ask him.
Yeah.
But it for sure made us stronger as a family again. It feels also now we have 2 children, it gets bigger and bigger, everything. It's nice.
What what have you learned from the birth? What would you do different? Is there anything that you, when you look back now, that you feel, if I'm having another baby, I would, maybe something I would do differently, even we know we can't plan it, but...
Yeah, I would take care of myself more during the pregnancy. That was this time. We had a lot of, my outside life was very complicated. Like we had no kitchen most of the time of my pregnancy. We had no running water. We had no hot water. We had no shower. We had like, so I had to make hot water for my daughter to bath her, and I had to cook like under outside when it was really cold and stuff like this. Like it was exhausting, the outside things.
Yeah.
I would make me more comfort. I would next time get pregnant when I have a more set up and comfortable surroundings, so I have more time to and energy to focus on myself and on my body. And yeah, there was not so much space for that maybe. And yeah, this is maybe the things. The pregnancy, I would more take care of myself already better. And for the birth, I think every birth is so different because every baby is so different. I really started to feel this now with Wile and with Ava. Just the whole days was different. Like Wile's birth, it was very stormy the whole day when I gave birth in the pool. And yeah, I don't know. It's just him also, maybe how he wanted to come, or like the intensity. It was so different with the first birth, how I felt the waves or how I felt everything. But maybe one can also prepare more with this hypnobirth and these things. But for this birth, it was maybe not what I needed. But maybe for next birth, I will be interested in other things, or other things will appear to me.
But did you feel like home birth and having a free birth was good for you? Would you do it again?
Yeah, I would do it again. I think that's for sure what I would do again.
Did you?
Yeah, I need that to be in peace to give birth.
Was there a moment, I was wondering, was there a moment that you wished you had a woman by your side?
During this birth, no.
Okay.
No. I thought about it like in my pregnancy. There appeared this in the end of the pregnancy. I really had a strong feeling I need women around me. Then I also spent quite much time with my friends, and then I really had the feeling I need women. And now not during the birth, but I can imagine that for another birth, I could imagine to have a doula also. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe more for this thing of like, now I understand more what the doula also is, or what role she can play. I didn't really get this point before. And maybe for more holding the space for my boyfriend, for example. So maybe this doula could get the water, but I'm still not sure if I would feel so comfortable having anybody there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I think when one decides to be alone, you realize that the responsibility is yours and yours only, and that you just can't give it away to someone else. I think it's very powerful, and it helps one to maybe focus on the actual birth. Maybe.
Yeah, and also, just this freedom. Maybe it is like, maybe I'm very close friend with somebody, but I still don't feel like making the same noises than when I do when I'm alone, or just with my partner, where I feel like I can let this out.
Yeah.
There's maybe not many people one feels like sharing this total nakedness of oneself.
Yeah.
But if the right person would come with who I will feel comfortable to share this, then maybe this can be beautiful.
What now in the end of the video, what would you advise other women that are planning to have a free birth and unassisted birth? What is your advice?
Yeah, it's my advice would be to look really inwards what one needs, and to not like yeah, to really just listen what one needs. Like if one feels like I want to be with a doula, I would need some women around, then not think like, no, I have to do it alone. Also, like just always follow what you really need and to inform yourself for what you need to know, what is the information you need to know, what calms your fears or what supports you, and to get the securities you need, to get the things you need. If you feel like good with one smell of something, get this. If you feel like you need the chocolate, then prepare your chocolate. Like really make it as cozy and comfortable for yourself as possible. Yeah.
Anything else, Anna, you would like to say before we bring the video to an end?
Yeah, I find it very inspiring, the videos what are out there and the movement that more and more women take the responsibility. And it's beautiful to share the knowledge and to come together. It's very inspiring me. It's very important that we take again the responsibility and help each other. And yeah.
Do you feel in your life that you want to talk more about it, or are you sharing your birth story with other women? Is it something that you feel maybe you want to go out with it more?
Yeah, I thought about it a little bit. Till now, I was not sharing it so much, just with the people who wanted to know it also, yeah. But yeah, I would like to share those. I would like to help each other. And I find it beautiful to just hear different stories. I think it's also good because there's so many births and so many ways and so many women and people. And the more information is out there, the more resonance for other people there is. Yeah, I want to maybe also, or it inspired me also the videos you posted about what means doula also, like everybody is already a birth helper also, or can be.
Yeah.
So I would always find it a very much honor if somebody also wants me to be there and hold the space so the woman can birth with herself in peace.
Yeah, beautiful.
Mm.
Thank you, Anna, so much for your video.
Thank you. It was nice to be here. Virtual.
I'm hoping everything is inspiring for those that are listening. Feel free to comment below and please leave polite and positive comments for Anna. And if you want to share your birth story, feel free to send me an email and do that. I'm especially interested in hearing more from women in Sweden. Thank you so much for listening. Hej då!
Hej då!